Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews. Here tonight with special guest Lee.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Lee? Lee of High Tide and Imbibe. We're gonna do Russell Brewing's A Wee Angry Scotch Ale, 6.5% ABV. Especially got this video featuring Russell. It's actually not as angry as he used to be over here.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right. So how you doing tonight, Lee?
Not bad. Like I was telling you, I'm kind of recovering from Wednesday night.
Wednesday night's post beer analysis debauchery that you had, where you got blackout drunk, I think, afterwards while playing online board games. I believe.
Yeah.
That you don't remember.
Yeah, I remember as far as maybe starting to play the game of life with Lady Lee, and then apparently we went on to play Carcassonne, and I don't remember any of that. So, yeah,
Nice.
apparently I did not do anything to embarrass myself other than be a happy drunk.
Yeah, outside of the normal.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That. So all I pretty much know about this beer is that it's brewed in BC by Russell Brewing of Surrey. So from Surrey, BC, according to the can, and apparently this thing won a award or something at the 2019 British Columbia Beer Awards, first place, I'm guessing, in the Scotch Ale category. That is a category there.
I guess Scotch Ale, wee heavy, 6.5%. I don't know if you said that or not. 30 IBUs.
Oh, it actually says the IBUs.
Yeah,
I've been noticing a lot of breweries are steering away from announcing what the IBUs are anymore. It's like it's not even a thing anymore.
It was always more marketing than anything else anyway, because you know how sometimes this thing can say, oh, it's got 70 IBUs and it doesn't taste all that bitter to your palate at all, right? So
yeah, and then some beers are like 30 or 40 IBUs and they taste hoppy as fuck. But I mean, at the same time, all the haze craze is kind of taken the like made a whole IBU game meaningless.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, these aren't designed to be bitter beers anyway. Like a wee heavy, a Scotch ale. Usually, the way it's done is the wort is in the boil longer, so you get more of a caramelized thing going on, and it's much more about sweetness than it is like bitterness. So,
speaking of which, I am getting that caramel, like caramel and dark fruits, like raisins and figs, and maybe a hint of copper coin.
Yeah, there is kind of an earthy thing in the smell here, like in the finish of it. It's kind of musty, earthy kind of thing, but up front, it's very much like caramel-ish and dark fruit kind of.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's mind-blowing or anything, but
it's almost like smells a bit like a double without the super bubblegum yeast.
Yeah.
It does have that like dark fruity kind of smell. Hint of chocolate, maybe. Almost like a hint of like a hot chocolate or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, it smells really smooth and really nice.
Yeah, it smells pretty simple, pretty on par for the style, as I understand it to be anyway. So, yeah.
There's more spices coming out now. Like, as it warms up a little, it's like hints of cinnamon. A little bit of brown sugar. It's actually remarkably complex compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it smells all right.
Smells good. Down the hatch.
Cheers.
Cheers, Lee.
It's almost a smoky component to it.
Yep, I will agree with that.
Which can be not all the time, but it can be a feature of this thing, this type, sort of style.
Like smoky, quite a bit more like red fruits poking up in there, and almost like a little bit of this, not like lemon tart, but it's almost like grapey tart.
I don't know if I'm getting that.
Maybe it's my can. I don't know.
I'm mostly getting big caramel malt at the front, little hints of dark fruit, and then it comes off to this like earthy, slightly smoky kind of finish almost, and then pretty dry in the finish.
Yeah. Like a bit of like this dusty yeast quality, hints of spices. I'm thinking more like almost like some kind of red grapes, like some varietal of red grapes, maybe. Just a little bit, not much, and mostly buried under dark fruits. I guess from the smell, I was kind of like had my mind trick of thinking like, oh, it's going to taste a bit like a double, and like, no, it doesn't. But it is still pretty damn good, pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. The lingering finish, like a little bit of smokiness there.
Yeah.
Whether they actually smoke any malt in this or anything, I have no idea. But
I feel like it's not like my recollection of a wee heavy last. It's been a while since I last had one. This doesn't feel like as deep, dark, and syrupy enough. But I mean, for a standard Scotch ale, yeah, this is actually really good.
Yeah, it's not like wee heavies can be anywhere from like about 6% to like 10%. You know, like
Okay.
where they just become like a sort of variety, like a veritable like a fucking barley wine, right? And I feel like this one isn't really going for that end of the scale. Like it's it's at 6.5%. It's a little bit thinner on the malt. You know, the body's a little bit thinner. It's not syrupy like some of these get. It's not super aggressively giving you all kinds of fruit flavors and stuff like that. Like it's got some nice components to it, but it feels dialed back from like the more extreme versions of this sort of style that I've had.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a bit thin, like Paul would say. It's just
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends what you want. If you want something that's easy drinking, it actually goes down quite nice.
Mm-hmm. No, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
This is really tasty.
The smokiness is almost like reminiscent of that Scotch ale that Pump House used to make.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I was kind of thinking it's somewhere within that range. Although I think the the Pump House Scotch Ale was what 5%. I think
I think it was around that ballpark. It's been better part of a decade since I last had that.
Yeah, they don't even make that anymore, right?
No, they haven't made that in years.
Yeah,
I wish they would because I like that beer.
That was like that, and their SOB were my favorite.
I miss the SOB.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the fucking Dunkel or
the Doppelbock.
Doppelbock. Yeah. Like there was a point where Pump House were like literally making the best fucking beers as far
some
as
of the best beers
stuff.
in the Maritimes. Yeah. And it's not like they don't make anything interesting anymore. I really wish they would come back and make that. Now they've been having a lot of success with their Radler, like the Crafty Radler is like available all over Canada.
Well, they've got a couple different locations now, right? In different places.
I don't think so. I know they got the main brewery, the main brewery restaurant, and then they have like a larger brewing facility in the north side of Moncton. It's like
okay.
But they have like a growler fill station there as well. They call it like the Pump House fill station.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the only locations I'm aware of. It's Gahan that's got like breweries in every city.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it feels like we should stop talking about Pump House because we're not reviewing their beer.
What we're talking about is like, oh, this kind of really reminds me of this other brewery that most of the people watching him. Well, you know what? It's Greg and Dan are in the chat right now, so I imagine they have heard of Pump House. Greg, well, maybe Greg probably doesn't care. Says, will this review have butt stuff? No. Dan's like, yeah, Russell Brewing, woo, from BC. Bylog says it's a bit thin. Paul reviewing a corpse. Western Canadian Beer Reviewer says this is the first Russell beer I've had from them years ago. That's pretty cool. So this is actually a fairly old beer then. Like, I wonder how long this has been around.
Because Dan's very old, so
I know he's older than us.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Dan.
Ancient.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Greg put a backslash down there. I don't know if that's
he's probably drunk already.
Yeah. I mean, he was drinking with a bunch of ladies earlier.
He was.
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't make any lewd comments when he was there.
Especially considering
actually.
Like it looked like half the table were ladies of color. So he was like the whitest thing on there. Like he looked like a fucking polar bear in the fucking Arctic.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's not quite go there yet. Anyway, the dance is about 6-7 years ago. So yeah, I suppose I would probably put it around like 2013, 2014, 2015, that area.
So this is when Dan was 50.
When Ewart was still working,
Yeah, when Ewart was only a spry 62-year-old.
Oh fuck! Wow. All right, let's move along on this thing here. What do you think, Lee? We want to put a number to it?
Yeah. I guess style. Like I've had better, but this is like really, really well done. It's really well put together. It's got some core sort of components to it that fit the style really well, and overall, it drinks very smooth and it's very pleasant. Style wise, I'll throw a nice solid 8 at it. I think it's deserving of that. And my own personal enjoyment, I'd probably go about a 7.5. I definitely would drink it again, pick it up if it was available here, etc.
Okay. On the Maxwell Starr scale is just a simple out of 5 rating, but I kind of agree. I would probably give this like a 3.75 out of 5. I know that's the stereotypical Nick rating, but it's pretty fitting here because it's good. It's good. I like it. I'm not over the top crazy for it, but I do enjoy it. I kind of, when I'm thinking like a wee, like when they say a wee angry Scotch ale, I kind of feel like, oh, is it a wee heavy? Well, it doesn't say it's heavy, but I kind of want maybe something a little more meat on its bone. But I can't really complain about this beer because it's delicious and it's absolutely serviceable in that regard. It's different than drinking one of those lagers, yet it goes down super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot more raisins and dried fruit coming out of the finish.
As it warms up, it does get fruitier, and that sort of smokiness kind of dies down a little bit. Yeah, so it's definitely even more complex than I was giving it initial credit for. That's for sure. Maybe I just had it a little too cool.
Yeah, that finish is like that little hint of smokiness in the finish. This really does remind me of the Pump House.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Pump House was a bit smokier and a bit heavier. Like
the Pump House, the Pump House was like, it was an intense smoke, but its big note was the smoke.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, the Pump House wasn't really like a accurate representation of a true Scotch ale, but it was still a regional classic until they discontinued it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Any more comments there? Just the last racist comment from Greg. All right. I want to thank Lee for popping on the channel. Everybody check out his channel. It's High Tide Imbibe. He used to be L. Harlock of Hoogly Beer Reviews way back in the day. That's how far we date back. But no, good, decent beer. Check it out if you want to, and we will chat with you folks later.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Hi, Greg.